It is 6:49 here on this Veterans Day. I'm Brennan Summers. We get right to breaking updates in our Smart Start. This water main break and the problems for neighbors in northeast Rochester. Roads flooded at Culver Road and Meredith Street. Ron Spitzer is there for us.
Yeah, Brennan, this scene is absolutely striking. Now, you do have the area blocked off, but that is not stopping cars from getting through just because there are large spaces. Now, we're seeing tipped over garbage cans. In fact, some trash kind of, floating around here. The sidewalk when we arrived was slightly visible. At this point, it's completely covered. Now, some cars did try to go through, as I mentioned. We saw some striking views of cars driving through, kind of realizing that the water is deeper than they thought, trying to pull off a U-turn and then making it back through the other side. Now, that is very much not advised. It is not clear how deep the water is. And according to the National Weather Service, you should never drive around the barriers blocking a flooded road because the road may have collapsed under the water. Now, it's important to note that the fire department, we did get to speak to them earlier, has already received calls for flooded basements, but there's nothing to be done until this core issue is solved. So again, we're seeing a lot of tipped trash cans, some trash floating around here, the sidewalk covered. This water is pretty deep, though again, we don't know exactly how much, so definitely do not drive through on your morning commute. For now, reporting, Ron Spitzer, News 8.
Ron, thank you. That water's been flowing for 2+ hours now. There, James, we're bringing more updates on that as soon as we have it.
Yeah. The
snow, the radar, we can see all of it coming right down right now.
Yeah, still hanging out with us. Heaviest is along 104. If you are further south, really, kind of 31, Route 31, maybe another decent demarcation if you're at or south of that road. You have less snow, but up through Greece, Irondequoit, Webster, and then over into Wayne County. That's where we have some of those 3, 4, 5+ inch snowfall totals here. Even in the city, we're creeping up on that as well. Heavier rain, snow, rather, north of Buffalo there as well. Temperatures still firmly below freezing, 20s across the board. We'll push those up. We'll talk about the 8-day in just a bit, Brennan.
All right, thank you, James. Sunrise traffic elsewhere besides that water main break. Got 2 left lanes blocked on 104 westbound near the hospital at the interchange with Portland Avenue. Please be safe headed out there on this snowy Tuesday morning. We'll have more live looks from our traffic cameras coming up at 7:25 during CBS Mornings. Another traffic note beginning today, 490 westbound will be cut to a single lane between exits 3 and 4 in Wheatland and Chili beginning at 7 this morning, so 8 minutes from now. Drivers will see delays. If you're going through during this time, you're advised to have alternate ways to get around if you can as needed. That construction is not just today, should be done by a week from Friday. That gets us to the 21st. More breaking updates overnight on this victim hit and killed in Lyons, struck by an Amtrak train. It happened just before 5 p.m. on the south track just east of the Route 14 overpass near Franklin Street. Deputies tell us that train was going nearly 80 miles an hour when crew members saw someone walking in an area that is not designated for pedestrians. The victim died on scene. Their name has not yet been released. More than 140 people were on the train at the time. None of them were injured. Also breaking, 2 armed suspects robbed a man last night in Rochester's Cornhill neighborhood. Officers say the victim was walking around Adams Street about 6:30 when he was approached by the thieves, shown a weapon, and forced to give up what he had. The man ran over to the public safety building for help soon after. Officers went back to the scene for a search but could not find anyone. If you have any information on that or video from nearby, you're asked to reach out to 911. To Washington, the U.S. Senate has approved a new funding package that brings Congress one step closer to ending the longest government shutdown in history. The final version of the bill, which passed 60-40, extends government funding through January and reinstates federal workers laid off during the shutdown. The bill still needs approval in the House chamber and to be signed by the president in order for the government to officially reopen. Even with that going on, air travel across this country is still a mess, and it could get even worse today. Since Friday, there have been more than 30,000 delays and 7,000 cancellations. The airlines say the shutdown has disrupted trips over the recent days for more than 5 million people. The FAA plans to cut more flights up to 6% today. That will go up to 10% by the end of the week if the shutdown is not resolved. Dozens of air traffic control towers are understaffed due in part to a surge in sick calls. In a post online last night, the president said all air traffic controllers have to get back to work. He threatened to dock pay for those who don't and reward those who did not take time off during the shutdown with a bonus of 10 grand. But their union is defending its members who have been asked to work without getting paid.
They must focus on child care instead of traffic flows, food for their families instead of runway separation. This is not politics. This is not ideology.
Already today, more than 1,300 flights have been canceled, according to FlightAware. The largest impacts at Chicago's O'Hare and Atlanta and New York's LaGuardia. Dozens of homeowners in Walworth are once again urging town officials to flat out reject, or at the very least, have a closer look at the proposed Blue Heron housing project for the golf course. Neighbors packed a planning board meeting last night at a school, raising concerns about environmental impacts, values of property, and what they describe as inconsistencies in this review process. Many say the proposal would put new homes on the course too close to existing backyards and therefore could harm nearby property values by lowering them. One neighbor told the board the developer appears to be circumventing the whole process. Now, once the application is deemed complete, the board plans to have more public hearings to allow for more community feedback. On this Veterans Day, please tune in tonight for our half-hour special Veterans Voices on News 8. That begins at 7 on News 8. This is our total journey with Honor Flight Rochester, recently from start to finish of going to D.C. and coming back. Adam and Emily did a great job with that. Yeah,
I complimented Emily in the hallway yesterday, and she's like, that's probably the best work I've ever done.
Just the experience too, yes, for the job doing the stories, but what they said just as a human being with them.
Yeah.
And we cry through every single one of these stories. Right. It's amazing. That's tonight.
So good. Worth watching, certainly. So tune into that. And we're tuning in now. 8-day forecast. Veterans Day today. Temperatures do get above freezing, mid-30s there for you. And then how about this rain showers the next couple of days once we get through this afternoon?
We'll talk about everything 9 o'clock on our podcast, Second Cup of Sunrise on the Rochester First streaming app. We're back at 7:25 to show you more snow and your top stories in a bit.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.